Hey everybody, it's Jesse with the Cross-Platform Action Squad. So I come here to tell you a story of a homebrew campaign that I was a part of. So if none of you know what a homebrew campaign is, it's basically where you take a whole bunch of little rules that the DM denotes as satisfactory for the campaign. And for this particular campaign, he noted that we could make use of any character throughout media, be it video games, anime, manga, what have you, comic books, if you really wanted to, and insert them into the campaign as part of that campaign's universe. I, being the fucking dickwad I am, decided I would break the entire thing by being a Saiyan. Now, if anyone is familiar with Saiyans, they are obviously bullshit. Fellows who were joining me were a Chaos Marine from Warhammer 40k, an Arbiter from Halo, a Ninja from the Hidden Leaf Village, a Hylian, and a random Orc Shaman. The campaign starts off, I'm flying through space in my Saiyan pod, just in hypersleep, whatever. All of a sudden, I get woken up by an alert saying I've been pulled in by a tractor beam. Or I get out of my little Saiyan pod and I'm on a ship and there's this dude in huge big blood red armor just staring me down. He's all like, "You're my prisoner now, bitch!" And I'm just like, alright, that's not happening. I key blast him in the face and he's knocked unconscious. As I'm panicking, trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with this fucking 5-ton piece of shit in my way and the ship I don't know how to fly, we get boarded by a Covenant ship. Runts and brutes just flood in and they take us prisoner after roughing us up a decent portion. Dude's left without his fucking power armor and I'm left without my Saiyan armor, so we're just sitting here in our fucking tattered rags in a prison cell on the Covenant ship. And we're just sitting there discussing our lives and like what it's like to be a space traveling, warmongering, destructive race of people. It's something we share in common. A brute overhears us talking and he's all like, "Hey, if you guys help me get out of here, I think I know a way we can escape." And I'm all like, "Dude, that's perfect, because we can't escape." He's like, "I have a buddy of mine. He lined the floor below us with explosives. It should be blowing a hole here any second. We can make a break for it, but I'm going to need you guys to cover me." I'm like, "Okay, guy, that sounds good." We wait there for a few minutes, kind of discussing the finer details of our escape. As soon as the explosion happens, I immediately gimp the brute and push him down the hole before us to see how many people are below us. Me and the Chaos Marine run straight for the escape pods. The Chaos Marine just said, "Fuck my armor, I'll fucking get new ones once we get to a safe location." But anyway, we're like fucking just flying through, just like grunts and brutes. They're just coming at us with fucking energy pistols and shit. We're just dodging for our lives, and we jump onto an escape pod. And just as we're about to escape, the Arbiter fucking jumps on and grabs onto our ship, and we just fucking start plummeting toward a nearby planet. Like, we're burning up on entry and shit. We're like, oh god, there's no way we're gonna survive this. A small little Hylian fisher boy is just staring up at the sky when he sees a giant sphere coming right toward him. And he's like, "Oh shit, this is gonna get heavy." So he fucking ducks into the woods and hides there. We crash land, get a few bumps and bruises and scrapes, and I think the Chaos Marine nearly broke his neck on entry. Because he failed his bracing roll or something like that. I blast the door open, and there's just an Orc Shaman dude sitting there fucking jumping around, ranting and raving like, "You've invaded my home territory!" He's like throwing magical powders up in the air and shit, like cursing us or whatever the fuck, I don't fucking know. So I start gathering my key, getting ready to fucking blast this motherfucker to Kingdom Come, when all of a sudden the Arbiter comes up from behind me with a plasma rifle and sticks it to my back. This startles me a wee bit, and I send a key blast off into the nearby woods, and it hits a tree that coincidentally falls right on top of the Arbiter, pinning him to the ground. There's going to be a reoccurring theme with how I deal with threats in this story. That's me talking down to them, then proceeding to blow their head off. I do just that with the Arbiter. The dude has to make up a new character sheet. I apologize for that, by the way. If you're listening to this, I doubt it. I don't even know what you're doing with your life anymore. What happened next? Oh yeah, the Orc Shaman dude, he's all like, "Wow, that's actually pretty cool. You're a cool guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're a pretty cool guy too, Mr. Orc." And the Chaos Marine is over in the corner praying to cheese. That's actually where I left for a few weeks. I come back to the session a few weeks later, and there's a dude named Draco. He was like this big, fucking metallic demon dragon humanoid person thing with nanomachines in his blood or something. And he had this fucking cringeworthy backstory about how his brother was evil, so he killed his whole family and cried Linkin Park lyrics into his fucking pillow while cutting himself or something like that. He was just the regular Marty Stew fucking OC donut steal, gotta fucking be a dick all the time kind of character. And he would do things like kick players into another room or stab people for no good reason, rip their arms off. Like, and I'm talking about player characters too. Like, I am all for violent mistreatment of NPCs. It's like, whatever. But, like, having to write up a new character every session gets to be pretty fucking annoying, especially when you put a lot of work into their backstory. And this guy just disregarded all of that shit. Leave it up to the DM to kill players. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to be causing that kind of drama by yourself. It's just a bunch of bullshit. So, I come back into the campaign just as he's kicking somebody into a pit of skeletons and laughing hysterically, like some sort of psychotic madman. And I swoop in and I'm all like, dude, what's going on? And the only two people I fucking recognize are the Orc Shaman and the Hylian from earlier, because everyone else apparently he had killed at some point. A legion of kobolds comes out of the forest that we were in. They declare war on this one small band of misfits that we are. I was never really filled in on it. I was just thrown right into the action. So Draco stands up and he challenges them all. There's like probably like 30 or 40 of them split into 3 different groups. I just kind of fly up in the air. I'm just like, I'm not really a part of this, guys. The kobolds just fire a volley of arrows right into him, taking him down to like 10 HP or something like that. And he's just like, ow, well that hurt. I kind of fucked up there. And no one else is going to defend him because like they've been mistreated this whole time. So he's sitting there ready to take on all these guys by himself. And I'm just like, I'm not really going to let this escalate anymore. I just turned myself into my great ape form, and I land right on top of Draco, killing him instantly. Like, the character's dead. That was just an accident, but whatever. And I proceed to demolish the rest of the platoon of the kobolds. The DM senses some serious bullshit going on, though. He said a giant siege beetle, I believe it was. He sends one of those out of the earth after me. I flipped the beetle over and proceeded to wail on its soft underbelly until it died. After that, my guy was exhausted, so he reverted back into his Saiyan form. Just due to that, I killed roughly about 30 kobolds, a player character, and something that would be considered a legendary monster. So I gained about 7 or 8 levels just based off of that in one night. And that's just one fucking example of how broken homebrew games can get, but I digress. After that, Draco's dead, and the Orc Shaman says his village is close to here, so we go and head in that direction. After the Shaman briefs with the chief of the village, the chief decides to come with us. Just the same guy decided to switch characters, and that was a good way to do it, I guess. And he comes with us, and the Saiyan and the Orc Chief are just bros because they're warriors that respect each other's strength. The Hylian is just being a little coward little bitch somewhere. I don't even remember. I don't think he played any important part in the story. Think of him as Yamcha. The Hylian is Yamcha. The Saiyan and the Orc and the Hylian all head off to this monk temple that was cursed and being overrun by monk zombies. And let me tell you, if there's anything scarier than a shambling corpse, it's a shambling corpse that knows how to fucking fight and wield a fucking bow staff. So we're fighting a bunch of zombie monks and they're kind of kicking our shit in. And just to top it all off, and I can't know, but I think the DM was trying to prove something. One of the monks rises out of the grave. It's like this big buff elder dude, I guess, that recently died. He is a keymaster, much like my Saiyan. So he just goes KO Ken and starts wrecking our shit, like, hardcore. The Hylian is being beaten to death. The Orc is just, like, barely keeping his own against 2 dudes. And I'm just trying to fucking DBZ this fucking monk elder dude. And eventually, I get to the point where I can't really handle my own against this guy anymore, so I go Great Ape again. Instead of biding my time and waiting for someone to cut off my tail, I just ripped the dude in half. But being as he was a zombie, that didn't really stop him. So instead what I did was I smashed the temple, and I guess I killed all the cultists inside that were raising the dead because all the zombies immediately stopped. I revert back to my normal form, and there is a disturbance in the Force, if you will, and that will come into play here in just a minute. A Sith Lord somewhere is sending his apprentice to destroy us as part of his ascending test, I guess. Dude's coming to kill us. A Sith apprentice. This is Draco, by the way. The dude who was playing Draco. He's being sent to come kill us as a different character. character. He flies to the planet and gets immediately captured by a few straggling survivor kobolds that I neglected to kill. They capture him and use him as bait to capture some like raptor things as mounts, I guess. We end up wandering across the area where he's being held captive. There's like raptors everywhere, and like the orc and the Highlander's like, oh shit, we gotta help this guy. And I'm like, alright, you guys have fun doing that, and I'll just sit up here and shoot key blast. Pew pew pew. We kill the raptors and we let the Sith dude out of the wooden cage we have set, or the kobolds had set up. Dude's still tied up, and I ask him like what he's doing here and like how did he get here and all that good stuff. He's all like, well, I was brought here to kill you. I have no idea why the fuck he decided to say that, but he did. I started mocking him a little bit, like, you're not in any good position to be killing me, not with your hands all tied up like that. I ask him, you flew in here on a ship, where's your ship? He tells us exactly where it is, like, he has a map and everything. So I'm like, oh, okay, you're of no use to me now, and I just immediately charge a key blast and blow his face up. Anyway, we get on his ship, and we start flying into outer space to find a new world to conquer, I guess. Then we immediately get captured again by this time by the Sith Lord that was apprenticing the Sith that tried to come and kill us and failed miserably. They bring us to the torture chamber and they start torturing away on us. Saiyans suffer from a blessing and a curse known as a Zenkai boost. Whenever you are brought down to life-threatening levels, like say negative HP, or like say you're knocked unconscious or whatever, you lose a fight basically without dying, and you get brought back up to full health, you suffer incredible increases to your power. And this is all using the Homebrew wiki, mind you. The thing the DM said was perfectly okay. For like the next like 2-3 months, I'm just constantly being brought down to like minimal amounts of health, and then brought right back up with Bacta, trying to extract information from me, I guess. I don't fucking know. This goes on for months, and I'm just keeping quiet about it. I'm just gaining experience, I'm gaining stats, I'm gaining everything, until I finally hit the requirements for Super Saiyan in less than 4 play sessions that I've been active. As soon as I get tired of this bullshit, and as soon as the DM also gets tired of this bullshit, I go Super Saiyan and free myself and the rest of my valiant band of chaotic cohorts. We're sent through time and space. I don't know where I'm going with that. Just cut all that part out. We had to fight our way off the Sith ship. Basically, it just consisted of me being attacked and nothing happening, then just obliterating everything in my path. Let's see, we got on an escape ship, and I think that's where we called it quits, because everyone was tired of me being way too overpowered way too quickly. And I don't blame them personally. I was not, like, it got to the point where I wasn't even having fun anymore. Nothing was a challenge, just because Homebrew is so easily broken. If there's no set rules or guidelines, or your DM isn't really experienced enough to handle it, Homebrew is never a good idea. You need some experience under your belt before you take on a coming like that. I'm not sure if there's a good end to this.
Stop feeling my fucking kills!